Race here tonight at Richmond International Raceway, and we're joined by our second and third place finishers at tonight's race. Our third place finisher is Kevin Harvick, and he won this race here in the spring. He's the driver of number 5 Armour Vienna Sausage Chevrolet for JR Motorsports, and he's joined up here by his teammate in the Nationwide Series, and that's Chase Elliott, who's the top Sunoco Rookie of the Year candidate and had an outstanding second-place finish here tonight at Richmond, driving the number 9 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet, also for Junior Motorsports. So I'm going to go to Kevin first. Kevin, just talk about your race out here tonight. As we were walking in talking, that last caution probably didn't do you any favors as you were gaining ground on that 54 car.
Yeah, it took about 30 laps, for us to swing the times the other way, and then it would come off in big 2 or 3 tenth chunks. Just didn't have a chance with after the last caution come out. I think we'd have caught him. If the caution doesn't come out as fast as we were making up time. But all in all, we were just off from the time we unloaded until the time we finished the race, and just never really found what this particular tire wanted for us and our setup and car and driving style and everything. So just Kyle had a much better car and was able to take off on those short runs and get way out there, and we weren't able to that was really the only run that we were running second and able to have a long enough run to where it was going to swing the other way, but it never made enough laps to make up the ground.
Thank you, Kevin. And Chase, certainly another strong showing by you here tonight. You got a 19-point lead now in the championship standings over your teammate Regan Smith, 42 points ahead of Ty Dillon. But just talk about your run out here tonight. You were also working your way up in the field there and gaining ground. But just talk about how you thought things went out there for you tonight for the number 9 Chevrolet.
Yeah, much like Kevin, I mean, I feel like, we were kind of fought the same things really from the time we unloaded, I think, all the way throughout practice. And, I feel like our cars were very, very similar throughout the race tonight. And we were just, like he said, just a little bit off from the time we unloaded and just fighting a little bit of this and that. And there were times where I thought we had our car driving okay, just didn't quite have the speed and just needed a little bit of grip here and there. But I felt like from the spring race to now, I don't really know that we got any better. If anything, I think we were on par, maybe a little bit worse or somewhere close. So still a lot of work to do, and I certainly think the 54 guys got better from the spring race to now. And like Kevin said, I think the tire kind of suited what they had going on a little more than it did us. So we'll try to get better before next spring.
All right, we'll open it up for questions now for Kevin or Chase. Start over here with Stan, then go Bob.
Hey guys, Stan Creekmore. Kevin, you first. Did your team learn from the tires that they'll be able to put into effect tomorrow night so you won't have the same issues?
You're going to have the same issues. You're not going to get rid of them. I think our car is definitely better on the Cup side than it was on the Nationwide side. The Nationwide side gave us a head start, and I think it gave all the I know my team, the 4 team and the Hendrick teams, just kind of an idea of what was going to happen to expect, and we were able to think about what was going on the night before, last night before practice started, and kind of get a head start on where cambers and different things needed to be, just a lot of little things, and just know it was going to be really aggravating. And you were going to have to get out of the box to fix the problems that you were looking to fix. So I feel like we got way further out of the box on the Cup side to fix the problems. We never could find anything on the Nationwide side to fix the problems. So, I don't feel like we stepped far enough out of that box on the Nationwide side like we did the Cup side to make it better.
Chase, yesterday or Thursday, I think it was, in your interview, you were very demanding about what you hoped to get out of this race, from a career standpoint. Did you get everything you wanted short of the checkered flag?
Well, we didn't win, so that would be a big negative, at least for me. I we were one spot short here in the spring, and unfortunately one spot short again now. So unless you win the race, and even when you do win the race, you always got work to do. So we definitely not satisfied with finishing second. I don't think anybody is. So we'll get to work.
Bob Pockris, you have a question? If we could get Bob the microphone there. Zach?
Bob Pockris, Sporting News. Kind of along the same lines of Stan's question for Kevin. With so much practice this morning, I mean, do you think the Cup guys have kind of a better idea of what the tire will do than the Nationwide guys? And do the Cup cars drive any differently that you would not use the high side tomorrow?
The high side came in Cup practice, so I think that's the whole racetrack's going to be in play for sure. I think that makes it more exciting to watch for sure as you can move all over the track. But I made 17 laps of practice in our Nationwide car, and I made 170 in my Cup car. So I'd say we have a little bit better handle on that one.
It's 10 times as many. That's other questions. Jim Utter, go ahead right here. Zach, let's get him the mic, please.
Jim Utter, Charles Observer for Chase. The Chase is getting ready to start. 10 races left for the Cup guys. You guys now have 8 left in the Nationwide side. Are you starting to focus a little bit more on what you need to do in this final stretch to keep or expand your series points lead and win the championship?
I don't. Again, this is the same question that is frequently asked, and at least the past couple of weeks. And I, to go out and try to compete and try to win races, if you can do those things, the points lead will take care of itself, and the points and all that stuff. So the way you show up and you go about showing up at a racetrack and giving it your best effort to win a race, I feel like that's the same effort that you need to give to win a championship. And to me, our goals don't change. My goals don't change. Greg's goals don't change. The pit crews, nobody's goals change, and they're not going to. We show up each week, and we want to try to contend for wins. And if we can do that, then that's the best way to get points, is to try to compete and win races. So I don't plan on doing anything any differently than I've tried to do all year long.
With 8 races left, do you feel like you're in a good position? Your team is doing that?
Yeah, I think yes and no. I mean, I feel like there's definitely been times where I've cost us some points, and and like last week at Atlanta, I feel like I cost us 2 or 3 points on pit road sliding through the box, and you want to try to minimize those mistakes anyways. But certainly when it's coming down to the end of the season, you want to try to make sure you clean that stuff up. And fortunately tonight, everything went smoothly on pit road, and hopefully we can just try to do that week in and week out. And I think we're capable of doing it. We just got to make sure we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, and just try to. There's so few things that you can control from a driver standpoint, and from a crew chief standpoint and a pit crew standpoint. There's a lot of stuff that can happen that's kind of out of your hands when the race starts. So just doing your best to try to give it your best shot to control those things that are somewhat within your reach, I think is the best thing we can do right now.
Any other questions for Chase or Kevin? Okay, guys, good job here this evening. Continued best wishes the rest of the season. Kevin, good luck tomorrow night. Okay, we're joined by our race winner tonight, his crew chief, and also Steve D'Souza, who is Vice President of Nationwide Operations for Joe Gibbs Racing, and crew chief Adam Stevens. Kyle Busch, the winner tonight, driver of the number 54 Monster Energy Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing, and quite a domination tonight. Kyle and I were talking on the way in. He did get a perfect driver rating of 150. But if there was some way to elevate that in the statistical world, I think this would be one race to do that, as Kyle leads all 250 laps. This was the second time that you've done that in a Nationwide Series race. You did it out in Phoenix, 2011, in February of 2011. This is your 67th Nationwide Series victory, and your 5th win here at Richmond. So congratulations, Kyle. Did you know, coming into tonight's race that you were going to be that dominant, or did it just come into you? Or how does a performance like that, how does that play out for a competitor like yourself?
Well, you never really think you're going to be that good, but I knew that we had a good shot at being able to run well tonight, and one better than what we've been here in the past few times. Unfortunately, we just haven't quite hit on it like we did tonight in those past races. But the Monster Energy Camry was awesome. Adam and the guys did a great job. I mean, I'm sure I can complain about some things, but when it's all said and done, it seemed to be pretty good. And so just a true testament to the team, the leadership, everything that went on from our struggles that we've had here in the past to getting better and being able to be as dominant as we were tonight to beat the guys that ran so well here in the spring, and just show that we're not letting down. We've got capabilities of being able to fine-tune some racetracks and get better at those places.
Adam, congratulations. Certainly, you and Kyle have teamed up to be quite a combination. Did you imagine that it would be this good tonight when you all got the car out of there yesterday?
No, it's so tough to tell. With the new tire combination, it kind of threw everybody for a loop, and I don't think anybody was completely happy with their car in practice. We had decent speed, we knew that, but then again, we were only putting 8 or 10 laps on our tires at a time. Nobody knew what it was going to do, 40 or 50 or 60 or 70 laps on tires. So we had to, trust that what Kyle was telling us is what was going on, and thankfully the track conditions didn't change too much, and what little bit of guesswork we had to do, we just guessed right.
And Steve, congratulations. I know this is a great win for Joe Gibbs Racing. Continue to show excellence on the racetrack, and maybe talk about the performance tonight of the 54 Toyota.
Well, there's not much to say. Obviously, the guys did a great job, Adam and Kyle, and I thought they really did know what they were doing. I'm surprised that Adam would say that, but it was fun to watch them, and obviously they put together an excellent program today and tonight, and they executed well, and the results prove out.
Congratulations, and we'll take questions now. Start over here on the far right with Hank Kurtz, and then we'll go to JP here.
Hey, Kyle, it had only been since May 31st that you won a race in the series, but 8 starts since without winning. Did that just seem like an eternity for you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. There were some good races in there that we had opportunities to win that maybe we could have, should have, would have won, but we didn't execute all the way and get what we needed, so we didn't win those races. But tonight we were able to do that, and sometimes you look back on years and you're like, well, we shouldn't have won races at that track, and we should win at that track, and we just can't run well at that one, so this was one of the ones that we kind of circled as well. We don't really run well there, so we won't count that one. But to be able to get it tonight and and count it as a win is a different racetrack than years past. So there's still opportunity for us to win more and close out the year strong.
Let's go here to JP, and then we'll go to Bob Pockers.
JP Beauchamp, Mech Local. Kyle, can you tell me if you made any mental changes since the spring as far as your determination or attitude is coming into tonight's race? I have a follow-up question to that as well.
Is it for like nationwide series or overall in general or what?
For tonight's race.
No, I mean, I hate saying it, but sometimes you're only as good as your equipment gives you, so you definitely have to have good cars. You have to have, opportune situations that present themselves in order to be able to execute like we did tonight. I mean, the pit crew was awesome. They were flawless. They didn't have any mistakes that came together. Out there on the racetrack, the car was really good, and, that all came together. My restarts somehow managed to be okay. I thought I was doing a fine job, and those guys behind me were definitely getting to my inside. But I don't know that anything changed from myself here in the spring to coming into this time around. I think that, like I said, I mean, the spring race here, we weren't as good as we wanted to be. We were definitely good today. That showed. And same to be said on the Cup side. I don't think we were very good here in the spring on the Cup side. We ran third, and with a late caution, and tomorrow, I don't expect us to be a winning car, but hopefully we can run top 10 and have a solid night to get ourselves on track.
10 years ago in the spring, you took the pole and the win here in Richmond. Was any of that reminiscent energy kind of in your mind, or as you came into tonight's race?
No, you know, again, you know, when you go through racetracks, there's times where you're dominant and you win at them. Like last year at Atlanta Cup race, you know, we were pretty good, and then just last week we were horrible. You know, same racetrack, not a whole lot's changed, but just things happen like that. So sometimes it happens for the good, sometimes it happens for the bad. But you know, 10 years ago here was my first start at the racetrack. It was the fresh repave. It was the first race on the new asphalt, and it was a fun night. You know, I remember that one being again, you know, qualified on the pole, the new track record, and then you know, leading the most laps and being able to hold off Greg Biffle at the end of the race. So it was a lot closer finish that night than it was tonight.
Let's go to Bob Pockris and then to Stan Creekmore. You got a question, Dave? Okay.
Bob Pockris, Sporting News. I want to say it had been since Kentucky Truck that you had won any race. Has it the last 2 months been frustrating, and can this win kind of boost your morale going into the chase no matter what happens tomorrow night?
Yeah, I mean, it has been a long time, and it's deteriorating to yourself and sometimes to your team and whatnot. You got to kind of keep yourself motivated and upbeat when you aren't winning races. But you know, at the same time, we've had opportunities to win those races. We just haven't put it all together. So those are the most frustrating times, and those are the times that, you know, you need to lean on each other to try to make each other better and get yourself back on track. So as far as the future goes, you know, I don't know that tonight's win is anything for the chase. No, we definitely need to get our cup program going and get it stronger than what it is. All three of us sort of struggled today a little bit. Denny hit a whale of a lap in order to get himself locked into the 12 to move on to qualify just, you know, for the second round. Matt and myself, we weren't as fortunate, so we'll just have to fight back from starting a little deep in the field tomorrow night. And again, you know, the chase races, we'll just have to again try to work as hard as you can. I mean, when you unload and you're good and you're talking to your team, or you can make changes and make your car better, you know, those are opportune times that you know you're making progress. But you know, there's other situations too when you're running through practice and, man, you're telling them the same thing over and over again. I mean, it's a broken record. You just can't fix it. You just can't get what you want out of the race car. And you know that if you could fix that problem, you'd be running as good as the leaders are or the quick cars are. But you know, it just doesn't always happen.
Go ahead, Stanley.
Stan Creekmore. Adam, how deep will your mind be picked tonight by the Sprint Cup side, considering the tires specifically? And Kyle, I know you don't want to be real revealing, but did you pick up something tonight that you think will help you significantly tomorrow night?
Just real quick, I've already had a couple of text messages from the Cup guys. They're more interested in what we fought in practice and what we changed for the race and what direction the track went than they are any specific adjustment. Anything specific probably wouldn't apply unless we did something with air pressure. Something like that would directly apply. But being that it is a new tire, there'll be a lot of emails and some phone calls back and forth for sure. And that is the benefit of having a multi-team, multi-series organization for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there were a few things that we picked up tonight. You know, definitely moving around the racetrack, finding what happens in the different lanes of the racetrack. I never went as high as Kevin did. He went really, really high and was up, you know, up a lane off the wall. I never went that high, so that'll be new for me if I got to do that tomorrow. But besides that, you know, I really felt back to normal here with the race car tonight at Richmond, like what I've been here in the past races where I've been fast here. You know, everybody was complaining about this tire, how it threw them for a loop, but man, I was like, oh, this feels like home. You know, I'm back to knowing what I know here at Richmond, and it looks good, feels good. You know, I actually look like I'm a genius, or Adam's a genius. One of us are geniuses, but you know, it all worked together. So I actually, so far tonight, like the tire. We'll see how all that plays out tomorrow, and if I'm not hating it by then.
Any additional questions? Hank, over here to the right.
Kyle, when you've dominated the way you dominated tonight and you get a restart with 18 laps to go, do you allow yourself to think, holy crap, this would really suck if I didn't win on this restart?
Yeah, that crosses your mind for sure. You know, but you just think about the situation that in case something does happen, somebody gets by you, you know, you just start thinking about making sure if that situation happens, okay, just plan ahead. Don't get yourself too worked up and push the car too hard, burn the front tires off it or the rear tires off it trying to get by them. You're just going to have to remember the pace you were just running through that whole 60, 80 lap run, whatever. It's a pace, and eventually you should be able to work your way back by that guy. So I planned all that ahead. Unfortunately, I didn't have to use it, but like I said earlier, well, I guess I said it outside. You know, the restarts, they're a little tricky. Kevin got to my inside that one time, but man, when you're on the inside like that underneath a guy, I mean, by the time turn one comes up, you've got to pinch it so tight on the bottom that you're really taking a big chance of slipping and getting into the guy that's on your outside that you're trying to pass and turning him and spinning him out. Fortunately, that didn't happen. I tried to pinch him as much as I could and then try to give him as much room as feasible to not have us all wreck. And then on that last restart, same thing. Chase got a good restart. I kind of went down to make sure that his front bumper stayed behind my rear bumper, and then I kind of got back up to try to get back into the corner. So all those things happen, and they happen pretty quick.
Any additional questions? Well, certainly, Kyle and Adam and Steve, congratulations on a very, very dominating performance tonight. And continued best of luck the rest of the year. And Kyle, good luck tomorrow night here in Richmond.